Drop a high-performance engine into an incompatible system, and the raw mechanical speed will seize the gears or vibrate the machine apart. Right now, enterprise leadership largely views generative AI as a frictionless speed multiplier. The assumption is that you plug the technology into your workforce, and knowledge work instantly accelerates. The initial self-reported data backs up this assumption. Surveyed corporate users estimate they save between 40 and 60 minutes of effort every single day by using AI assistants. This chart tracks 50,000 word users, comparing time spent on tasks with and without AI. Gains are concentrated. Creating initial drafts saves almost 14 minutes, but applying themes and styles saves less than a minute. The benefits are highly specific. This creates a paradox. If individual workers are clawing back an hour of time each day, aggregate organizational output should be exploding, yet in most companies it isn't. A calculator is a standalone tool. You punch in numbers, you get an answer faster. An AI assistant injected into a networked, socio-technical system behaves entirely differently because the outputs of one worker immediately become the inputs of another. This interconnected environment creates two massive hidden network frictions that cancel out individual speed: epistemic pollution and psychological stigma. To calculate the actual return on AI investment, leaders have to stop tallying isolated keystrokes and start mapping the friction across the entire organizational network. The first systemic drag on collective productivity is a newly categorized byproduct of the AI economy: work slop. Work slop is AI-generated content that appears professionally formatted and useful, but lacks substantive insight or factual accuracy. We can deconstruct this using the 7 V's matrix. The volume and velocity of AI generation produce massive text instantly, burying high-signal communication. This outpaces our ability to fact-check, creating a verification bottleneck that pollutes the information ecosystem. This is already a measurable problem. In a recent survey of over 1,000 U.S. employees, 40% reported receiving work slop from a colleague within the past month. When a sender uses AI to draft a long email in seconds, they save time, but they instantly transfer this speed as a cognitive tax onto the recipient. They must read through synthesized filler, spot any hidden hallucinations, and send messages to fix it. Technical filters for internal slop are barely in development. The only defense a network has is the critical evaluation skill of the individual employee. At a system level, an individual's speed multiplier acts as an organizational drag if it prioritizes output volume over verifiable quality. Even if a team manages the technical friction of slop, they run headfirst into a secondary, psychological barrier. Workers operate within a complex social hierarchy. When colleagues suspect someone is using AI for tasks, a severe social evaluation penalty activates, changing how they judge morality and effort. This forest plot visualizes how peers evaluate individuals who use AI help versus a control group. The data shows a stark shift. Colleagues perceive AI users as lazier. Correspondingly, perceptions of positive traits like competence and diligence drop significantly.
Trying to solve this through transparency backfires. The research shows that explicitly disclosing the use of AI to your peers actively erodes trust. This penalty is not distributed equally. In tests evaluating identical software code, female engineers who used AI received a 13% competency penalty, double the 6% penalty applied to men. To protect their reputations, employees either refuse the technology entirely or they use it in secret, preventing the organization from learning best practices. Without deliberate intervention from leadership to culturally normalize AI use, this social stigma silently nullifies the technological capability the company paid for. When productivity stalls due to slop and stigma, organizational leadership usually defaults to forcing top-down mandates focused purely on efficiency. This diagram maps the economic reality of labor technology. It splits human tasks into what machines can automate versus new tasks. The automation trap happens when a company focuses entirely here on the inside, trying to remove costs through raw replication. Pure automation is a dead end. It caps the upside of the business to mere cost savings, concentrates wealth upward, and strips workers of the autonomy that makes their jobs meaningful. Augmentation represents the alternative. This strategy uses AI to unlock categories of work previously impossible to reach. As AI reliably handles routine cognitive tasks, the economic value of human labor shifts away from execution and heavily towards judgment. AI still struggles with context. The human advantages lie in recognizing opportunities, applying ethical constraints, and making decisions under deep ambiguity. But there is a risk. Aggressively automating entry-level execution work destroys the hands-on learning environments required to train the judgment of future experts. Organizations that treat AI strictly as an automation tool are optimizing for their past. Those that focus on augmenting human judgment are expanding their capability for the future. How do enterprises actually restructure their labor to avoid the automation trap and clear the frictions of slop and stigma? Top-down mandates fail. Workers actively resist adopting tools that force them to conform to rigid, unnatural workflows that prioritize efficiency over quality. The empirically proven solution is participatory design. Instead of treating employees as operators, workers must act as co-designers of the AI integration process. Organizations map this transition using the Responsible AI Organizational Maturity Model. It starts at the base, leadership committing to organization-wide infrastructure. The middle tier requires cross-discipline collaboration between data scientists and frontline workers. The peak is mature practice, integrating human-centric metrics into daily deployment. The most valuable AI use cases will not come from a centralized command. They will emerge from the edges of the organization, discovered by the workers themselves. The future of work is a process of active redesign, pushing human effort toward the absolute edge of innovation. Winning in the next decade depends on mature, worker-centered integration, a factor far more significant than simply owning the most advanced AI models.